Guys, I just have a realization, and I'm going to say this right now. In God of War 4, I think that Kratos, he will die, but he will survive. Now think about this. In Norse mythology, we all know that, like, we all know that Fenrir, the son, or what god, or like the child of Loki, right? And his best friend, and Fenrir's best friend is Tyr, the god of war and the god of justice. Now think about this, right? Think about this. In God of War 4, we found out that Odin killed Tyr, right? But it was like before or something. Like there was no story about Fenrir. There was no story panel like that 3 story panel, like, mythology of Odin or something else like that, right? Odin meeting the god, like I think like Fenrir or some shit like that, right? Like there was no mythology about how he lost his hand, how he what do you got what do you got how when Fenrir was then tricked by the gods to wear a rope around his neck. So hear me this. What if in the new God of War, what if Kratos did die, but he faked his death, and he and then he adopted a new alias for him, calling himself Tyr, the God of War. And think about this, right? Think about this, all right? Because in God of War 4, it was before when Odin adopted Atreus, and Atreus accepted his new name Loki, and it was before he had like kids such as Jormungandr, Fenrir, and and Modem, I think. And think about this. After when Fenrir is born, he needed a friend. He needed Tyr. But where was he in the God of War 4? He was killed in God of War 4, right? So what if in the new God of War 5, Kratos becomes Tyr, then befriends Fenrir, and then he will later help Loki take revenge against the Asgardian. I know this is a big theory that I just come out of my head, and I'm just basing it off onto, like, just some dumb logic. I know this is a really dumb theory, but trust me, think about it. I mean, what if Kratos did die, but he becomes Tyr after faking his death? Think about it. I just